To begin, I just want to make sure that you have all the packages that you need. So firstly, it's OpenOffice. You get that from openoffice.org, where you can download a latest version of the program. It's a great office suite. It's particularly good for this application, and it's free. So even if you have another one, I suggest you take this. Then you go to TurboCash, and there's a download section. It's important to register if you want to work with us, but you're welcome to your privacy. You download TurboCash for free, and you can download the bank import spreadsheet for free. You then install this to your drive which suits you, and you'll be able to open it with the OpenOffice that we have. Right, so the first thing I want to do is go to my online banking facility. Just in my particular case, this is where I collect daily sales, and I want to then be able to download those sales into my cash book. So you'll find that when you look at an account, there's usually a section on statements, and I can then produce a statement for the last couple of days, and I get a list of my statements, and then I go along to a facility which will allow me to export transactions. You'll see one of these options, it's called a CSV file. It's a comma separated file, and I pick that. Gives me a chance to download it to a particular drive on my PC, and I then save it to a file where I can open it with OpenOffice. So I get the CSV file and I open it. Now this is what's great about OpenOffice. It gives you this ability to filter a file. So for example, if I was looking at a bank statement coming in like this, these are not separated into values I can deal with. So I add a comma separated, and you can see it now splits it out for me into fields that I can manage. Right, I'll accept that. And yeah, I get a file exported in common and limited file, but now brought into OpenOffice in this particular format, which is not compatible with TurboCash yet, but will be when I filter it shortly. So I open my bank import spreadsheet. And I locate the APSA file, and there's an example. I've actually done it previously where I've then gone and taken the data from my import, Control C, and I've put it in here, which I've done previously, but there it is. And this is a set of data that if I try to import it to TurboCash would fail. So I have a filter called APSA import, which is a page next door to this APSA. That's the data that's raw, and this is the format that TurboCash needs it. Some stars to show me it's imported data, and then most importantly this batch, this date. And really what I'm doing is I'm taking it's called a concatenation. I'm taking the data from APSA, which is in this format, 20 year, month, day, and I'm converting it to what TurboCash will understand, which is day, month, year. I then bring in the detail, which is also from that APSA file, and here I have an option to put in accounts. If I wanted to actually allocate expenses, I can do that, but they must be exactly in this format: G, which is a general ledger, and these 3-digit codes, which is the 3-digit codes that get accepted by my TurboCash. I then have these two things to show me there's no tax involved. And here come the numbers. So this is coming from the bank. You'll see that, remember, the bank views the account from their point of view. So expenses are shown as minuses and out, and incomes are shown as positive numbers and in. In our books, that's the opposite. Expenses are shown as debits or positive numbers, and sales or incomes are shown as creditors or negative numbers. So we've reversed that. Now this is in a position where I'm now ready to save this the APSA import spreadsheet, and I'm going to save that as a CSV file. CSV, and I'm going to important this, edit the filter settings. So when I save it, it's going to give me a chance to change the field delimiter to tab. That's important, and I'll show you in a moment why. So I save that, okay. And if I now come into TurboCache, done this previously, so I'll just erase this quickly. Now, watch, I'm going to get an error. I'm going to try and import delimited file import, and I'm going to import the bank import CSV, and I can't open this file because OpenOffice still has it open, so I need to go to OpenOffice, close the spreadsheet, and now I'll come into TurboCache and I will do the delimited file import. And voila, my data's there. Now, if you forgot to put that tab in, what you're going to get is I'll give you an example. I did one here where I just left it as a comma and not the tab. You'll get this message, list index out of bounds. So TurboCache imports tab data in a comma delimited, not comma data. We'll get to why that is later. So I just want to cover one last thing. It's very similar in TurboCache 4. There's a cache book, I process it, delimited file import, bank import, and there's the data. But I'd have a balancing process in this one. So let's just go back to our bank import spreadsheet for a moment. So this is the engine that does it. So, and I'll review what we've done. So I choose my bank, and I've now brought my data in, and I have, let's say for example on this side, I really need this one. I've got this one that's bringing in the first transaction, but it'll vary per month, right? I mean, every day or so, I may have, say, 20 transactions. At the moment, I've got 3. So I go to the import sheet, and I take this row, the first row, which is the correct one, and I copy it. To the number of rows that I need. And then it then picks up those formulas for me. So you need to make sure that you're bringing in all of the data that you want into the import sheet, and then you bring the import sheet in from there. Right, well, have a go.